Alright, something wrong with this starter. Last time before I went out to the ocean, right at the harbor, the starter failed on me. So it's a Mercruiser 5.0 for 2000, and you see here the starter and the solenoid. What problem is when I turn on the key, it clicks a couple times. It's a very weak click, but it never crank. So I try to troubleshoot it, and I realized it's a starter issue. So today I'm gonna do a quick check today to find out if it's really the best starter or solenoid is creating the issue. Here you have a slave solenoid. That is where the signal got sent to the starter when you crank the key. So when you turn on the key, the power is sent through these 12 volts to this pole, and then this yellow red line sends the 12 volt to the solenoid, and solenoid tells the kicks in the gear and tells the starter to spin, right? So what I'm gonna do is hook up the battery. The battery 100% good because I just got it from Costco about half a year. No, actually it's like 3 months ago, and I just tested the voltage is at 12.8. So the first step I'm gonna try is just check this slave solenoid if it's good or bad, if it sends the signal down to the starter. All right, so just grabbing a regular screwdriver right here. I can show you. I have a test light. I couldn't find a good ground, so I'm using the battery ground as a good ground. All right, hooking up the battery, and then okay, so now this is a good ground. Now if I put the test pen on this pole, you will see the lights light up, right? So this one does not, and this sends the signal to the solenoid. Just in case I press the circuit breaker a couple times. So what I'm going to do next is jump start it. Make sure you have some kind of plastic handles just to be safe. So I'm going to jump it, see if the engine starts. If the engine starts, then this is bad. Right. You hear that? See the spark? So that means I try to jump the solenoid and starter, but it doesn't crank. So now the problem goes to the solenoid and starter. Come down all the way here. I can show you. Right here, there are a couple wires going on. This is a 12 volt constant. The signal from red yellow over here, red yellow, gets the signal from the key cylinder. When you turn the key, slave solenoid sends the 12 volts here down, and it goes to the one of the pole in the back. So there's a pole in the back you cannot see. Let me bring it closer. All right, see that? The one on the right, very far right, the yellow pole, the yellow cable brings the 12 signal from the slave solenoid from your key cylinder, and it tells the solenoid, okay, sends the 12 volt you already have here all the way down to this one that connects to the starter to spin up the starter, and the solenoid at the same time will kick off the gear from the starter to all the way to the flywheel in the back. And that's how they work. So now I'm gonna test this light. It has 12 volts. See the lights up? So the constant 12 volt power has power, right? And now I'm gonna test this one, the yellow line, the yellow cable. So when the key signal is turned, I actually it's by myself right now. It's kind of hard to show, so I can tell you these when the key is turned on and crank and to the crank position, it actually gets the signal from the solenoid 12 volts, and it actually flashes. Right, flashes because it's alternating, because it's not giving constant current to this solenoid. It's like a jumping current. All right, so now I can almost for sure to say this is bad. And because I have to replace the solenoid and starter together, so I'm not gonna test the starter. If you do want to test the starter, see if it spins, is if you hook up the use a car jumper cable, hook up the positive, negative, actually just positive. Don't worry about negative. Hook up the positive, and then bring your positive over here. Touch this place. When you touch this one. This is where it gets the 12 volts from the solenoid. So you touch your you jump this pole from the 12 volt from the battery, and this spins. The starter spins. Right. That will tell you this is a good starter spinner. But the solenoid is bad, so I'm gonna replace the solenoid. In order to replace the solenoid, you just grab a small 1/2 inch socket wrench here and unscrew this nut. All right. Sorry about the blurry, but it's kind of hard to focus. That's how we are going to fix this engine. 550 Mercury. Good luck. Well, while you turn off when you want to try, well, actually when you try to remove the starter, you need to must make sure that you disconnect the battery thoroughly. So there's no cable connecting to the battery. It's for your safety. All right, and I recommend to take a picture of all these wiring, so when you come back you will have a way, you know how to put it back as it's supposed to, right? Okay, I'm actually using a wrench here just to slowly disconnect all these connectors. Just be patient about it. It turns out there's actually 2 bolts holding the starter, so one I'm already taken out, and let me see. All right, there's another one. See, the same bolt, as I turned off. So I already turned off this one, and I'm gonna try to remove that one. So I'm testing the starter, see if it's good or bad. So right here is a constant 12 volt. You see the lights, constant 12 volts, and these yellow lights, it should be lights on when we turn the key cylinder. So okay, go ahead. Yeah, actually see that flash. So it actually gets the signal. So now this one, the big nut, is supposed to get 12 volts from the solenoid and feed it to the starter to spin the wheel. And this is ground. I'm connecting the ground here. Okay, so now turn this key cylinder. And you only hear the click. You don't actually see the lights turn on. So this starter is not spinning. There's something wrong with the cable, the power sending circuit inside. So I'm gonna replace this whole thing.